Hello everybody, and welcome to the Marvel A to Z series here on the Rich's Realm channel. In this series, we'll be looking at the characters throughout the Marvel Universe, looking into their powers, story history, allies, and enemies. There'll be some big names you've heard of, and some you may not, as well as some weird and wonderful creations throughout Marvel's history. I'm going to start off with a shout out to Zach and Dr. Doom for their comments on last week's video. And now let's get right into it with this week's episode, the letter S. As the cousin of Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, Jennifer Walters pursued her dream of becoming a successful lawyer. When she was shot by the criminals of whose boss she was prosecuting, Jennifer received a life-saving blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce. But this infusion of gamma-radiated blood had an effect on Jennifer's physiology similar to the experience of Bruce himself. The repressed part of her personality began to manifest itself as a green-skinned powerhouse, the savage She-Hulk. At first, Jennifer kept her role as She-Hulk a secret, but over time she found she enjoyed being the She-Hulk, who, while definitely an extrovert, the She-Hulk was far more in control than her cousin's rampaging alter ego Hulk. She spent more time as the She-Hulk, using her gamma-spawned strength to battle villainy, and was offered a membership with the Avengers. While fighting in the first Secret Wars on Battleworld, alongside the Avengers and other heroes, the Thing decided to stay on Battleworld and asked She-Hulk to take his place in the Fantastic Four. During her time with the Fantastic Four, Jennifer abandoned her identity as Jennifer Walters and remained as the She-Hulk full-time. However, over time, She-Hulk's more boisterous personality created problems for her down the line, and she was asked to leave the Avengers mansion. Jennifer was later recruited by a law firm specialising in superhuman law, but the conditions of her employment meant that she would pursue her duties as a normal human rather than She-Hulk. After the Civil War, Jennifer helped train heroes in the 50-State Initiative, and after being disbarred for revealing privileged information, Jennifer turned to bounty hunting with her Skrull friend Jacinda. She also joined Luke Cage's Mighty Avengers, as well as an all-woman A-Force, and fought Thanos after he attacked on Project Pegasus. But when Jennifer learned that Bruce had been killed, she left superhero life and went back to law, but always struggled to live stress-free and keep the She-Hulk at bay. The Shadow King is an immortal demon that lives on the astral plane. It possesses people in the real world, making them fat as it feeds on the hatred it breeds. In the 1940s, it worked with Baron von Strucker to try and replace King George VI of the UK. Years later, the Shadow King reappeared as Amal Farouk, an Egyptian crime lord and the first evil mutant Professor Xavier ever met. Farouk's gang included the young thief, who would later become Storm. Professor X defeated Farouk in a psychic duel and believed him killed. However, he had only been banished back to the astral plane, and remained an omnipresent threat to Xavier's dreams of pursuing coexistence between mutants and humans. The Shadow King once controlled a group of X-Men from a parallel world, dubbing them his Dark X-Men, before Excalibur defeated them. Bast, the Panther god of Wakanda, later devoured the Shadow King for trying to attack Black Panther and his wife Storm. His remains grew in power until he was able to overtake a nuclear launch site and aim missiles at the X-Men's home island of Utopia. When the Shadow King tried to use the world's telepaths to escape the astral plane, Psylocke sent a team of X-Men there to stop him, and defeated him with the help of Xavier. And now it's that time where we look at a weird and wonderful creation from the Marvel Universe, and today, it's Spot. While researching teleportation for Kingpin, Dr. John Orn was transported into a spotted dimension, and when he returned, he found his body covered in portable wormholes. He clashed with Spider-Man and Black Cat, and when he opened a spot in the negative zone, he ran afoul of the Fantastic Four. While in prison, he helped Tombstone escape, but in return the Crook broke his neck. He survived, but was later killed by Elektra, and then resurrected by the Hand. So that wraps up this video. Please hit that like button, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to drop me a comment of your favourite character starting with the letter S, and you might get a shout out in the next video.